But Mark Utek is not a shy person. Why would you want to impersonate him like this?
Seeing these flies playing on my foot, how can I feel lonely?
Hi, we're back, this time with the real Mark Utek.
Yeah, what was that all about, having a fake Mark Utek read your poetry?
Well, it was a poem. It was a visual poem for Watertown, something about looking into the soul of our town. Our town has always had problems with race relations.
I know our TV audience is saying right now, this doesn't look like any Utek I know.
Well, there's all kinds of Utechs that nobody knows. Most of them come from out in Lebanon. The graveyards in Lebanon are full of the name Utek on the tombstones. There are many. Besides, I was at an Aikido tournament in Chicago and I couldn't make it to the studio, so Guy here took my place. These are no friends from Dada-loco.
He did a good job of presenting your poetry.
Yeah, he sure did.
Well, that's
wonderful.
wonderful. I was hoping you could pull it off so I wouldn't have to bother driving all the way to Watertown to set up this stupid thing with her.
I would like to read some of your poetry for us.
Oh, sure. This hot summer night, a fly dives into the ice water. What does that do for you?
Reminds me of Lord Calvert, Manhattan.
When did you lose your hearing, and how did that affect your poetry?
As a matter of fact, it was a profound effect on my poetry, being deaf, entering the soundless sound.
Weren't you the bass player for Dada-loco? The local band, Dada-loco?
Yeah, I lost my hearing playing bass guitar for the band Dada-loco.
The poet Robert Bly said in Nigeria, they say that every poem has three parts: the poet, the poem, and the listeners. In the oral tradition, which is thousands of years older than the tradition in which poetry is written down, the poet himself or herself offers something to the community. What do you think you are offering to our community in Wisconsin?
Well, I'll take this poem here for example. A pamphlet sending sinners to hell. The smell of lilacs. This is a poem that speaks directly to the heart of the experience of many people in Watertown, especially since we have Maranatha Baptist Bible College right here on the western side of town. These guys are coming down our main street trying to convert everybody. They give out pamphlets that send you to hell. I write in this poem, I'm communicating with the people. I'm showing them that I understand where everything is coming from.
What about your barroom poetry and stuff written on the bathroom walls? Isn't that sort of a direct communication with the community?
Yes, it is, very much. Mostly when people are very drunk, things go directly to that place in the brain where I want it to go. It goes way into the seventh state of consciousness, the subconscious. Hey, it goes directly to the heart. That's what I tried to do with the barroom poems. So, I had to have poems that probably wouldn't make any sense when they're sober. But when they're drunk, they go right to the seventh consciousness.
Robert Bly also talked about written poems versus spoken poetry. He said when poems become written down, and the person writing poems does that in a room by himself, and sometimes reads the poems to himself without even moving his lips, it's very easy for him to become isolated or separated from sound and separated from any community beyond his family. Reading the poem with your eyes says nothing about its sound. What about the sound of your poems?
What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I'm talking about poetry. I'm talking about truth. What am I offering? I'm offering poetry.
Like in golf and poetry, time can stand still. One thing, the subject of separation and isolation really interests me. What, like most people in Watertown don't even know you exist.
They don't? It depends on who you're talking to. You gotta understand, most of the people who know about Utek, we're talking about bums. We're talking about outcasts. We're talking about factory workers, which happens to be most of the people in Watertown.
Yes, some of your earlier works have no remaining copies.
Communists?
Well, Mark, it seems that in Watertown, the only people that really know about your poetry are the outcasts, the downtrodden, the barflies, the alcoholics, the drug addicts, the factory workers. Can you explain some of that?
Well, consider yourself. You used to be a barfly. Maybe people like you are the people I'm trying to talk to. Maybe you are the people who need the poetry most in your life.
And now you sound like Pablo Neruda. You're not a communist or something, are you?
Okay, yeah, what's with all this Oriental thought stuff? This is a Christian community.
Don't make me laugh. This is a polarized community, that's what it is. Young, hey, what's the matter with that? I'm just going to read another poem, right?
Fine.
Burning poetry. The smoke stinks.
That's a good one, I like that.
Yesterday I saw tiny white flowers blooming. Today they're gone.
I feel your poems are an attempt to find harmony and beauty right here in Watertown. Daily life in the taverns, farms with freeways and mosquitoes.
Whoa! I thought that was going to happen. It would be easier.
I did drop it on the table.
This program has been very interesting, but our time is running out. And before we go, we have a special presentation. Here's our board member, Rita Moore, to explain.
Hello, on behalf of Poetry in Watertown, I'm here to give a special presentation. Come on out. All right, on behalf of Poetry in Watertown, I present this award to Dada-loco for 20 years of cultural service in Watertown area. Here.
Thank you. I'm speechless. I'd like to thank all the Dada-loco members who can't be here today with us. You know who you are. Mike Frost, John Strayer, Jim Moore, Paul Scott, Peggy Luxinger, Vivek McGee, Kenny Weber, Kurt Rhodes, and everyone else who has contributed. Thank you.
Dada-loco's good. I've seen it. Once you've seen it, you know just what it is.